Hello students, welcome to the class of Advanced Strength of Materials. We will follow the syllabus prescribed by West Bengal State Council of Technical Education and Vocational Training for Diploma in Mechanical Engineering. Today, we will discuss the chapter of strain energy. So far in the previous strength of material classes, we have learned a lot about stress, strain, UDL, UVL, deflection and many more. But one very simple and interesting concept we have overlooked. Today our aim is to generate the concept of strain energy, derive the expression for strain energy, use the expression for strain energy to find stresses in axially loaded members of uniform cross section under gradual, sudden and impact loading. We will also try to derive the strain energy expression for a body due to its self weight. Now, why strain happens? While any object is applied by some external force, deformation of shape occurs. The deformation of shape is known as strain. While application of external force, part of the force is absorbed by the crystal lattice of the material of the body. As the force is retrieved, the energy absorbed by the crystal lattice is released, converted into mechanical energy and helps that particular body to regain its original shape and orientation. Thus, that internal energy is known as strain energy. In a single sentence, strain energy can be defined as the internal energy which is stored in a material when loaded within its elastic limit. The concept of strain energy is not at all valid for plastic deformation. Strain energy is also known as the work done by loaded material. For strain energy to be stored inside a material must undergo deformation within elastic limit. Strain energy depends upon loading as strain itself depends upon loading. Now, to identify the strain energy, we must recall our previous stress strain curve. And the area under the stress strain curve up to elastic limit is known as strain energy. Major application for the computation of strain energy is designing of spring. Now, initially, a body is not applied by any external force. So, deformation is taken to be 0. And the resistance created inside the body is also 0. The resistive force that is being created is known as stress. Now let's say body is acted by some external force and the resistive force developed inside the body is capital P and the deflection is delta. Then the work done as per definition is average resistance multiplied by delta, which eventually simplifies to form the equation as P E V by 2. Obviously, the P is taken to be the stress, which is small p, and the externally applied force P is taken to be capital P. L is taken to be the length of the specimen. A is the cross-sectional area of the specimen or of the body. E is the elastic constant of the body. Capital E is the elastic constant of the body. Small e is the strain. Then from the equation we can derive to a conclusion that strain energy is the relation between stress, strain and volume divided by 2. Now, strain energy per unit volume is known as resilience and can be mathematically explained as stress squared divided by 2 E. Now, we will use these expressions to develop stress equation for gradual, sudden and impact loading. And one important concept is the maximum strain energy which is loaded, the maximum strain energy which is found in a loaded material is known as proof resilience. Now, in case of gradually applied load means load application is slow and consistent and must follow a transient curve. Deformation due to gradually applied load is slow, and then the work done is taken to be P by 2 E into L, which after simplification give rise to the stress equation as small p equals to capital P by A. In case of suddenly applied load, it doesn't follow any transient curve. It is the random application of load and at a very high rate, and due to suddenly applied load, stress concentration increases and give rise to catastrophic failure. The work done taken to be PEL, and the stress that is developed inside the body will be P equals to twice capital P by A, which is actually 2 times the stress developed by gradual loading. That means in case of sudden loading, the stress developed inside the loaded member is twice than due to gradual loading. Now, in case of impact loading, or in case of shock load to be precise, shock load happens due to impact, and we can imagine it as some accident scenario. Okay, when a body strikes onto another, impact happens, quite a large amount of energy is released. Let's say U unit of shock load is applied to these bars, and the stress that is being developed inside these bars can be computed by taking the strain energy equation as P square V by 2IC equals to U, or P square by 2IC into AL equals to U, where small p is equals to root over 2 UE by AL, where AL is the V or the volume in case where we are taking the specimen to be of length L and having uniform cross section A. Now we must develop a equation for a body which is falling freely onto one another. Here in this particular diagram, this body W, this body of weight W is falling freely onto a collar which is again held up by a bar, having both of this bar and collar is having the elastic constant E, which is same, and this weight W, this body of weight W is falling at a height of about h onto the collar, and due to the impact this collar bar system extends a bit or deforms a bit of delta. The deformation that we find here is delta. That means the work done is W multiplied by h plus delta. Again we know the strain energy equation as P squared V by 2IC, which can be computed, simplified, and we will get the end result of stress as P equals to root over 2IC H W by A into L. Now AL is taken to be as of length L, A is the uniform cross section of the body, and L is the length of the body. Now strain energy of a body of uniform cross section due to its self weight. This body is of length L having uniform cross section A. We have considered a small elemental length of dx at a distance x from the free end of the body at distance x. Dx is the elemental length. Now the weight of the body will be P equals to gamma A into x, where gamma is the weight per unit volume. Then the stress developed is gamma x and the strain developed is gamma x divided by E. Now initially we have learned that strain energy is making a relation which is equal to 1 by 2 stress, strain and volume. Now we can see that particular thing here also, 1 by 2 stress, strain and volume. It is again simplified to form 1 by 2 gamma squared x squared by EA into dx. We have to integrate it from 0 to L as it is a definite integral, and this body we have to consider the entire body. So we are going for a definite integral, and the total strain energy inside the bar after computing simplifies to 1 by 6 gamma square L square by E into volume. Then from this particular expression we can understand that the total strain energy in the bar due to its self weight is proportional to its length square. This concludes the class of strain energy today. If you have any query, please contact me, please comment. If you do not understand any derivation, please ask. Thank you.